Hello everyone, how are you all doing? So this week's video, I'm just gonna dive right into it. This video is going to be about my income and why I decided to go into photography full-time, because I recently just made that jump. Many people thought that I already was full-time, but nope, I was not. I had a part-time job for many years. I was working as a server at a restaurant, and I did that for probably 10 years while I was doing photography on the side. I didn't start photography as a business though. I started as a hobbyist, and it wasn't really until 2017, 2018, 2019 that I started to really make money from it. And then that's probably around 2019 was probably when I would have made the transition. But of course, COVID happened, and we all know that COVID pretty much ruined everything. Anyways, now it's 2021, things are going back up again, and I have basically just decided it is now or never. I'm not bringing back on that other part-time job. I'm just going to focus solely on photography. I hope that you guys find this information very valuable, because these are the things that I want to know about other photographers and like what I'm getting into and kind of what it looks like. I have no notes prepared. I'm just going to tell you the real deal, how it is, and pretty much how much money I make and how much money you can potentially make with photography. So I'm gonna only go month by month because I'm still building it up. I don't really feel confident in sharing like a yearly income, because there's some months that are not good, some months that are very good. But let me just talk about this month, July 2021. So my income around projected is about $8,000 to $9,000. That's actually what the business is making. I'm a sole proprietor, so what the business makes is what I make, but I do have all my expenses like taxes and all the other stuff. There's not that much overhead with photography, so it's not a huge amount that goes into expenses, but the $8,000 to $9,000 is not my take-home pay. My take-home pay will be a little bit lower. And I also might make a little bit more. Those are just the jobs that are booked that I know are coming, and some that I have already shot. But I'm sure as I go along, I might pick up a few more mentoring sessions, maybe some family sessions, so on and so forth. So that's a pretty cozy income for me, honestly. If I was bringing that in every single month, I would be as happy as a potato and my life would be perfect. But that's not always the case. There's definitely some months in the future that I'm like, oh no, where am I getting like an income from? But it doesn't really matter to me, because I know that this is what business is like, and I know it's a process of growing and continuing to grow, and failures happen and all that stuff, but I'm determined and I am not giving up. So my biggest sources of income with photography are weddings and photo tours. Those are the top. Those are the biggest paying jobs, and commercial. Commercial is pretty good as well. So those three I really actually rely on, because those really make up a bulk of my income. And then there's little things like family sessions. I'm working with brands. That's kind of new for me, is working with brands. YouTube is another one. YouTube is like a business all on its own. That's something that I'm just growing. I'm not seeing returns on it yet, but I definitely hope that I am, because I think video is a huge way forward for the future. I think if you're a photographer, you're not dabbling in video yet, you should definitely look into it. But anyways, that's a totally other subject. And then things like influencing. I have been paid to influence before. I'm sure you've heard from many other photographers that it's a really good idea to have multiple income streams with photography coming in, and I completely agree, because if one goes down, you still have the other ones. I guess the scariest thing about photography and income is that it's not really steady, so you really have to push it to kind of keep that coming in. But honestly, that's like anything in life, any job. You have to, let's say you're a nurse, you have to go to school for 4 years. You're probably really not making money in those 4 years. It's a job. You have to learn. You have to master the skill. Photography is the same thing. So there definitely is a direct path in photography for people that want it, and you can do quite well. I've had months where I've made $12,000, $13,000. So there's definitely money in it, and as long as you're willing to put in the work, you will see the rewards. So moving forward, I am going to Australia eventually whenever the borders open up. So I'm going to take my business from here, and I'm basically going to set it up in Australia the same way. I realize that there will probably be a year that's a bit up and down until I really get it growing. But I think over the years, I've built a bit of an international presence, which is going to be really helpful to me from moving from Canada to Australia. I'm going to a bigger city, so I think I should definitely take advantage of that. And I have a few ideas. I definitely want to stay on YouTube and keep teaching and mentoring and helping out as best as I can. But I think I'm really going to push with weddings there as well, because weddings is usually very seasonal, but I think maybe in Australia that might be a little bit different. Canada, we have that really cold winter. But weddings is very seasonal. So in like a 6-month span, you can make very, very good money. And then you have the whole rest of the year to like put into other things. I think it has been easier for me to take the jump into photography full-time because I don't have children. So Ben has kids, but that not at all does that affect either of mine or his careers. But I think maybe that is really helpful in giving me that flexibility to be able to put into this job. But then again, it's like, you know, I was a server before. So if I wasn't a server or a photographer, I'd have to go off and be something else. I'd have to put money into it, probably education. So it's really no different than anything else. I asked on my Instagram stories how many people were full-time, and I was actually pretty shocked by the results. It was like 90% really don't do it at all as a job, and about 10%, which I was expected those 10% to be full-time. So it's very interesting to see those results. And the two top reasons of why people don't go full-time, one was because of money, just not thinking that they could make the money with it. And the second one is the lack of confidence. I totally understand both of those reasons. I completely agree with you guys and I can relate. Lack of confidence was probably what kept me back for so long from taking that plunge into full-time. But at the same time, I think that COVID kind of cornered me because it did take away the other job that I had. So I really feel like it was now or never. Just push into it and go and grow it and see where you can take this. I'm feeling very optimistic. I'm totally a believer that you put the hard work in, then you're going to succeed. So I'm okay with failures. I'm okay with a little bit of a roller coaster with my income. I'm okay with the ups and downs because I know that the more you put into it, the more you fail, the better you're going to get. I will say, and I think this is the best advice that I can give anybody that's wanting to go into this full time, your biggest like source of opportunities and moving forward and connections is collaborating with other photographers. So your competition is pretty much your best friend. I cannot stress that enough, how big that has been for me with collaborating with other people. Even if they're collaborations that don't necessarily work out, there have been ones that really, really do, and they have created huge opportunities for me just by becoming friends with Josh Cripps. We just had a conversation on Instagram one day. Now we're doing tours in New Zealand, and it's amazing. They have sold out. Like, well, I'm pretty sure it's sold out mostly because of Josh. But anyways, just by being like open and present to it, I now have landed a job and going to teach in New Zealand. So collaborate and be friendly and reach out to other photographers and be eager to work. Those are my biggest tips moving forward if you want to do this as a career. Anyways, if you guys want to help me out, you want to see me succeed and see me grow, I'm really trying to push into YouTube right now because weddings is kind of up in the air. I think for 2022, my weddings will be, I don't know what's going to be happening. So I'm like, well, I got to push into this. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really, really helps me out. I want to share more information about this and other stuff. I do talk about other things as well, and I show you shooting and all that fun stuff. Please subscribe and like this video. And another way you guys can help me out is by checking out the links in my description. I have the SHIMODA Kickstarter is down there, and I'm also leading a tour with 2 other gals October 1st to 3rd. That's coming up pretty quick in the Canadian Rockies. We'll be doing 3 days, 2 nights. Accommodation is included, and I'm running it with Mother Pixels. You probably know her on Instagram, Robin, and Swiss Click Photography, Carmen. They are both 2 of my friends and awesome photographers. The 3 of us are banding together to put on this tour, so we think that it's going to be very, very good. Anyways, the link for that is in the description. So as always, at the end of the video, I'm going to share some images. I'm just going to share a variety of all the different things that I photograph, and this will have been from the last month or so. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!
Why did you say we're through? Why did you take my heart away? Girl, give it back to me.